crumbs did a piece of toast leave?
A plateful, and whatever.
The plate.
Well, it depends on how much you toast the toast and how fresh the bread is. It could be real crummy.
But sleep eating too. You don't know how. I don't know how people eat when they're sleep eating.
No, I don't. I'm such a straightforward sleeper. I feel like I go to bed, I don't move, I wake up 8 hours later, and then I still don't move for another hour.
Yeah, like I've fallen asleep with food in my mouth, and I wake up and it's still there, so I know I'm not sleep eating.
I think that's a problem. That's a choking hazard, Django.
That's a different problem, Matthew. Why are you falling asleep with food in your mouth?
It's usually like, you fall asleep with a big piece of chocolate in your mouth, you wake up and you have melted chocolate.
Don't eat yourself to complete exhaustion. That's insane.
Eat yourself to exhaustion, is that what you said?
Yeah,
before that sugar really kicks and gets you going. Go.
This is not about me. This is about people eating you out of house and home in their sleep.
That actually reminds me, when Dane came in for my fridge, he brought up the story of when I moved and I lost a fridge. I was moving from a third floor apartment to another third floor apartment, a 10-minute walk apart, very quick drive.
Yeah, don't make it sound like you lost the fridge. We know where it went. It just didn't come with you here.
Yeah, So we were because it was 3 floors with a very thin entranceway. We were using a pulley system to bring everything down from the back porch. We moved 2 couches. We moved a dryer. A stove was the heaviest thing, and everything was going so smooth. I remember I was on the truck ride back. In the pickup truck with like my arm over the seat, going like, "Wow, this pulley system's a godsend. It's really changing the whole day. This is going really smoothly, all things considered." It was a rainstorm and stuff, but anyway, the only piece that had left to move was my fridge, and I was on my way back. And I said, "Wait for me for the fridge. It's a big thing. Maybe we should actually carry this down." Because I'm worried it's a pulley system, it's a fridge, it's pretty big. But it was lighter than the stove, so we figured it's probably okay.
Or was it?
And just before we moved the stove out, the new occupants of the apartment the fridge out. The new occupants moved their fridge in, and it was the exact same fridge. It made me go, "Oh, we should have just told you to leave your fridge downstairs. I'll leave my fridge upstairs. We'll just trade fridges and call it a day. Everyone's going to save a little legwork." That's not what happened. The other fridge was already up there, and we were confused for a while. Wait, which fridge are we moving? Anyway, so I get back from moving the dryer and stove to find that no one is there, and my fridge is down on the ground level with no doors on it. And my first reaction is like, oh, maybe they took the doors off. Maybe it was easier to move with the doors off for some reason.
Did it make it all the way down to the ground level, or was it your landlord's balcony?
It was. I walked through the gate, and it was sitting there right in front of the gate with no doors on it.
Okay.
And then a friend of ours who was helping out, he shouts down because he heard me coming up, "Hey, Seba! So, you don't have a fridge anymore, and your brother's in the hospital." And right away, I'm thinking, oh no, the fridge was being pulled down and someone was underneath to support it so it doesn't swing around too much, and like a rope snapped and a whole fridge fell on my brother. And then I get up to my third floor porch and see blood all over the porch. And I'm getting real concerned now. He says, he sliced open his finger and they brought him to the hospital. Turns out what happened was, instead of wrapping the fridge around like a plus or an X, they only went around one way. And instead of lifting the bottom of the fridge over the banister before lowering it, they tilted it sideways. So it just slipped right out of the loop of rope that it was being held in. My brother just tried to reach at it and grab at it, and the metal shell that wraps below the fridge cut him. It sort of wraps underneath. He tried to grab at nothing, and it sliced open 2 of his fingers. My dad grabbed like a weird teddy bear thing and wrapped up his hand real tight and drove him to the hospital. Dropped him off at the hospital. Said, "I'll park. I'll be right back in." He comes back in. He says, "I dropped my son off. He's bleeding from his hand." They go, "Okay, yeah, head that way." And then my dad's wandering around the children's section of the hospital, saying, I'm looking for my son.
Oh.
And they're like, what does he look like? And he's like, well, he's 31. He's about this tall. They're like, no, you're in the wrong section. Go back. They thought they had lost a child. No, go back this way. Okay. He found him. He got a few stitches. And I gave him a call a little while later to say, like, hey, how you doing? You got some stitches? Doing okay? He's like, yeah, Medicare covered it, so just a couple stitches. I'm like, well, that's very good that Medicare is covering your stitches. Medicare's not covering my fridge. I need a brand new fridge now. The one part where I'm not supervising what's going on, they just throw a fridge off a third floor. And so it fell down. It hit my landlord's fence, crushed the freezer area wall. The doors blew off and flipped into the neighbor's yard.
We're getting to my favorite part here.
And, that's pretty much the gist of it. Turns out there was also still a little bit of frozen chicken that flew out, too. I didn't realize that was in there.
No.
That's still not it, Dane?
No, that's not my favorite part.
What's your favorite part, Dan?
You said just f*** it, and you left the fridge there.
That's true.
You just
that
left.
was the very last item I needed to move. And so I was like, well, this is a trash fridge. The doors are in the neighbor's yard. We're out. Let's go. Let's just leave before things get worse. We've done our part. And you know what? They were new landlords. They were kind of jerks to us. Screw it. Leave you with some thawing chicken in a broken ass fridge.
And the doctors got back to you too, and they told you that your brother can't sleep move anymore, right? That's what he does in his sleep. He just moves stuff. Especially large appliances with pulley systems.
That's it.
His wife comes out into the living room and everything's just suspended by pulleys.
He actually, and when I called him, I thought he was texting me to say, I was asking how he's doing. He was texting me, and he was so goofy in the text, like he was lolling in all of his texts, that I was like, is he, hyped up on painkillers or something? No, I think he just lost enough blood that he was acting a little goofy.
Oh.
And it was Canada Day, so he went to the bar right near his place after, had 2 pints, and was like, whoosh, needed to go home. So that's the story of my fridge. How so we're one of the guys who was helping me move last year said, so same time next year, the 3-floor fridge toss? Yeah? Okay. We're just going to toss a fridge off a 3rd floor every year. Make a tradition of it.
And leave it there.
Leave it there. Leave it wherever it lands. Doors flip off. I mean, it could have been really dangerous just the way the doors exploded off and flipped. If someone was having a barbecue next door, they could have just got hit with a fridge door.
Everything about that is the best case scenario for all of that is what happened, because nobody really got injured.
Nobody got hurt. The only damage that was done was to the fridge and I think a patio light.
Yeah.
Nobody got hurt. Your brother went to the hospital.
He couldn't really use 2 fingers for a few weeks, but in the grand scheme of things, he's fine.
But you couldn't keep things cold for however many weeks.
Yeah, man. I had no fridge for like 2 weeks afterwards, ordering in only amounts of food that will last one day.
Right.
Yeah.
You could eat cold pizza.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was the perfect send-off that apartment neneeded. Like after a decade, I feel like we should have done it with all the appliances.
Well, I mean, they were all mine, so I don't agree. But after 8 years in that apartment, it was a good trash the joint, f*** it, we're out type of move.
I mean, only on moving day are people's civil responsibilities just tossed out the window. It doesn't matter.
It's true. It's funny. I kind of felt bad for the guys moving into our old place because when they had visited it, there were a lot of holes on the wall that were covered by things. And then, once we'd moved, we had a dartboard that had huge holes in the wall from before we moved in, big screw holes from, I don't know, maybe a wall unit or something, I don't know. But once we moved the dartboard, it was just a pockmarked wall that we were saying, have fun with that wall. It's full of holes, enjoy it. And, when it's covered by a dartboard, it doesn't seem too bad. There's a couple holes here and there. But that's just because the dartboard protector had not even been there most of the time. I'm going too long on this dartboard.
Yeah, but I mean, when you removed the dartboard, was there fucking St. Patrick's Day confetti that blew up everywhere? Did you booby trap his apartment too?
That's true. That didn't happen.
I want to start doing it to more apartments though. But go ahead.
Speaking of booby traps, I don't think you had anything to do with this one. At my old apartment, there was one time where I guess it was after a St. Patrick's Day, we had a potato jam. Where we would post St. Patrick's Day Parade Day.
That was great.
Eat all the potato dishes that we could conceive of. baked potatoes, mashed potatoes,
Potato
skins, potato salad, potato chips, so on and so forth. And I went to bed, probably very drunk that night, and woke up, and there were potatoes everywhere. My room was just filled with potatoes. In my pillow, in the sheets, in my sock drawers. I was literally finding potatoes for months. And the thing about that is, if you leave a potato hanging out in like a drawer and you don't notice it for 2 months, it grows its long ears? No, ear of corn, eye of potato.
The eyes,
the eyes grow out. It's just this gross little potato when you finally find it in your in your shorts drawer when summer's come rolled around.
So I'm white Irish Catholic. Terrible Catholic. But this sounds like a dream to me. A room full of potatoes. I mean, I could sleep in there. For sure, I'd have no problem with this.
You're that, Italian. But then when you find two different potatoes in one pillowcase, you lie down, oh, there's a potato here. You move it out. And then, you're getting comfy and you roll over. Oh, here's another potato.
I ask you this. Couple potatoes or a horse head?
I'll have to go with a couple potatoes, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. There were potatoes in my shoes. They were everywhere. Couldn't
Django, you taking credit
potatoes.
for this? Django?
What, sorry?
Are you taking credit for this? Is this you?
No, I wish. I never actually got to make it into any of these potato parties. I would have loved to, though. And the idea of waking up in a bed of particularly mashed potatoes, that would be delightful.
Oh, gosh.
If I woke up and all my sheets had been replaced with mashed potatoes... Oh,
just eat your way out?
Yeah, I'd never have to get out of bed.
Garlic mashed potatoes or mashed potatoes?
I'd like mashed potatoes. Maybe the pillows could be garlic.
So you're sleeping in a bed of mashed potatoes, get out of bed, you take a gravy shower? What?
I never much like gravy. Maybe more mashed potatoes in the shower.
And I remember the day after potato jam was always a disaster, especially the one year where there was someone broke a bottle on the floor, cut their foot open. They were using saran wrap to just sort of hold all the blood in for a while, and she kept her foot up and kept drinking as if it's fun. This isn't going to thin my blood out more.
Yeah.
She needed to be carried to the hospital eventually.
Hashtag potato jam problems.
One day where I wake up the next day and there are empty bottles strewn everywhere. There's broken glass, blood on the floor, blood on the wall, beer all over the floor, beer on the wall, and potato skins all over my dryer because we had set up the potato skinning section right near my washer dryer. Just potato skins stuck all over the side of it. It was disgusting, and it smelled awful.
Yeah, potatoes after a while don't smell great. So sad I never made it to any of these places, any of these potato jams.
They were too disastrous. We think we only did it 3 years in a row because there were too many stitches that needed to be had. The cleanup was getting awful. We just kind of abandoned the idea of it.
Yeah, well, it just moved to a different location. The menu was just slightly different. Because these were
as far as your breakfasts go.
Yeah,
I feel like it's the other end of it. This was the post parade party.
Oh,
and that's a worse idea.
Yeah,
the only upside of the idea was that everyone's drunk. They're showing up. They're going to have a lot of potatoes. But the problem with that is the potatoes absorb the alcohol, and they just keep drinking for another 5 hours, and then it turns into a real shit show.
Oh yeah, a lot of green puke at those too.
Oh gosh,
the Baileys and the
such a mess, a mess. You see, you're smart because you get the beginning end of it and then send everyone out. Yeah, and then it's not your problem. It's much less of a mess because people are still reasonable at noon.
I don't know. A lot of people
judging by the mess this year, maybe not.
A lot of people don't remember breakfast.
By a lot of people, do you mean you?
I go in and out, right? And
flashbacks of it.
Yeah, basically, everyone was welcome to boozy coffees and themed Jell-O shots. So I think a lot of people probably drank more than they should have before they had gotten to breakfast. But
see, that's why I didn't even show up this year, because I've learned from past years that even though I go for breakfast, I figure I'm going to have a couple drinks just to start my day off. I'm getting way too drunk before noon.
And I taught you a goddamn lesson about it this year.
Sorry?
I said I got to teach you a lesson for not showing up. I just smacked you in the face with the flag the whole
smacked me
day.
in the face quite a bit. It wasn't that bad, though. I remember you texting me the following day of being like, I think I apologize